Hello and welcome to today's video. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. So today, thanks to a comment from Addy H, he's told me he's got a Canyon Spectral like this one, so congratulations on your new bike. And he asked me to do a video on suspension setup. Now this isn't just for the Canyon Spectral. This will work for any bike, hardtail or full sus. I'll be going through the front and rear suspension. So if you have a hardtail, just do the front suspension, and if you've got just a fixed bike, then you're wasting your time watching this video. We'll go through the front and rear suspension, how I get the rebound set up, how I get the air pressure set up, and that's all I'm gonna do. So let's do it. So we're gonna start off with setting up the front suspension. There's a little chart on the inside of one of the stanchion legs, and you basically look at that, look at your riding weight. That's when you've got maybe your riding bag and a helmet and stuff on. Looking at that weight and pumping it up to that pressure. Once you've pumped that up to the pressure it's in, you should sit on the bike, grab the back brake, and you want to stand up in your kind of ready position. So now we're just going to check the sag really quickly. Try not to push down too much on the front, just get in the kind of ready position and try and hold it there for a second or two, so like this. And then get off the front. When we look at the little red ring, this is just to show us what our sag is sitting at. We can see that mine is at 25%. Now, you might want to do this a few times and take an average, because where you stand, it can change a little bit every time. So do it 3 or 4 times, take the average. Mine's about 25%, and if it's somewhere between 20 and 30%, you're in a good location. Another thing that we'll need to do is adjust the rebound. The rebound of a suspension system is basically how fast it comes back up after that initial impact. So a fast rebound, you'd compress the suspension under something, like going over a rock, and as soon as you're over that rock, a fast rebound setting would mean the shock springs back. If it was slow, you'd go over the rock, the suspension would no longer be under load, and it would return slowly. Now, as a basic rule of thumb, you want the front to be quite fast and the rear to be quite slow. This is because the front being quite fast keeps that front wheel on the ground, and the back being quite slow means that it's not going to extend really fast when you're going over a jump and push you over the front. Now this changes depending on what ride. If you never do any jumps, you might as well put a bit more speed on the back. And yeah, it just depends on how you ride, but for me, I like the front to be quite fast and the rear to be quite slow. To set up the rebound, make sure your suspension's unlocked if you have a lockout. This one doesn't, it's just got low speed compression. If you've got low speed compression, just put it in the middle. That just gives you a bit more support when you're going around fast corners, stops it squatting so much, so I just keep it somewhere in the middle. And basically what you want to do to check the rebound is you want to push down and then let go with your hands, and the bar should push up against your hands when you try and bring them away, but the wheel shouldn't come off the ground. So that's what we're looking for. Like that. You can see I've made it a little bit too fast, so the wheel's coming off the ground a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow it down just by one click. There we go. Now watch this. Now it's not coming off the ground. So that is how I set up the rebound on the front. So let's move on to the rear suspension. So the way to set up the sag on the rear is just with adjusting the air volume. I'll find out what mine is for you. Slowly take your weight off your feet until all your weight is sitting on the bike. Stand back up and look at where the red ring is. 30%. Anywhere between 20 and 30% should be fine. The best way to set your rear rebound is to cycle off a curb. I'll show you what I mean. This is going to be our curb. Make sure your rear suspension's unlocked. When you go off the curb, the bike is going to sit into that rear suspension. We want it to go compress, go a little bit past the sag and sit there. I'll show you what it looks like when the rebound is too fast. So we should see it jump back up really fast, and it's just going to unsettle that bike. The back wheel is going to be jumping around on the ground. So I'll show you what that looks like. You can also see it if I just sit on the bike here and jump into it. You can see that it's never really settled. It kind of bounces a couple of times before it settles down like this. You see that? You can actually see me bounce around a little bit. So that's what we don't want. Now I'll show you what it looks like when the rebound is too slow. When the rebound's too slow, it almost feels like you've got your rear shock turned off. Because you sit into it, it's hard, and then it just kind of stays there. While it'd be comfy for that first hit, any hits you take after that, you're just going to use up the rest of that travel really quick, and you're going to run out of travel. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's in a good position. That position gives me a good blend of the bounce and also the absorbance. It makes sense when you do it yourself. Now there's one more suspension thing we're going to try. We're going to move these red rings back to the tops of their travels, and we're just going to cycle along and forcefully shove ourselves down in the bike, almost like we're pumping something huge. We're going to shove equally with our legs on our arms, and we're just going to see how much of the travel we use up. So what we're looking for is for the suspension to have a similar amount of travel used on both of them. You can see on the front we've used probably about 3/4, 7/8 of our travel. On the rear we've also used about 3/4 or 7/8 of the travel. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, tell me down below. If you have any other video ideas, also post them down below. Over here you can subscribe to my channel, and over here you can watch a video YouTube thinks you will love. So thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time.